What's up, guys? I started playing My Hero Academia and the game is awesome. Pro Play Games just finished their January 16th Sunday Mayhem. I don't know what they call it, but it's a big webcam weekly tournament that they have on. And as you can see, they posted out the results. So today we're actually going to discuss the top 8 decks, and I'll show you the whole decks. And we'll talk a little bit about why we think it's topping. And yeah, let's get better at the game. Let's start getting inspiration to build better decks. And this should help a lot. There was 39 decks, and from them there were 2 Seros, 2 Nomus, 1 All Might third, 1 Kirishima, 1 Jiro, and 1 Eraserhead. These are all really strong, obviously heroes, but Sero, for example, we have not seen top before, so it's nice to see him there again, but all the rest are pretty much the top of the top heroes. So yeah, we already know what the best heroes are. Let's just jump in and see what kind of decks they played and the list they had. So if you guys are interested in more of these videos, make sure you subscribe down below. I make My Hero and Digimon content, but I'm going to be making them daily, so you're not going to miss out and you're going to get a lot of value from this. So make sure you follow and subscribe right down below. Anyways, let's just jump into the decks right now. Alright guys, so this is number 8, Hinata Sero by Barry Everson. Let's go through the attacks. He runs 18 attacks, 3 actions, and then the rest is foundation. He does side 10 as well. We'll go through that as well, but let's go through really quickly. Hardened Chop, we all know this is really good. Allows you to destroy maybe a committed face down to build a non-committed face up, so allows you to really go through your stage and build it. And also, if it's blocked, your rival has to discard a card, so it can work with the Hanata Sero's response, allowing for a really strong turn, maybe final turn. Also, Hardened Job, very good as well, allows you to add a card, maybe a face down committed card to your hand. That's the best option, and then build a face down from the top of your deck. Really good, allows you to add cards to your hand and to the field. Rapid Tape Swing, it has a Sero enhance. Commit 1 foundation, this attack cannot be blocked by mid blocks. You could also commit this Gotcha, which allows you to add or minus speed, so this is a really good combo right here. You can also commit another foundation. If this attack is not blocked, your rival discards 1 card. Obviously, Rapid Tape Strike is really strong, stops mid blocks, and has other cards that, for example, like Tape Swing, cannot be completely blocked. So let's say all he has is mid blocks. This is really good, and if he has, for example, other blocks, you can change a top block, and you can read that very well. You can change the zone to a top, because, for example, Tape Swing's response here says after the zone is attack is changed, it gets +1 damage. Very easily, you can change the zone of this attack at least once to a top, a high block, a high attack, and then because all he has is high blocks in his hand, he's not going to actually be able to block this card. He's going to gain a huge amount of damage. So this is really cool. If you can read your opponent, you can gain a lot from it. It also has another ability, discard 1 momentum. You can change the zone of this attack. Obviously, you could do that as many times as you want, but you have to keep discarding momentum. So you're you're only allowed to do this as much momentum as you have. Also, we have Grasping Tape Toss, has a stun, it's a throw, so you're usually not going to get blocked. But if this card is not blocked, commit 1 rival foundation, so your opponent is going to get hurt if he doesn't block it. And it does have a Deadlock enhance, add 2 rival foundation to the bottom of their deck. That's insane, but you're not going to be activating that a lot. We do run 3 action cards, the plus ultras, and then we have a bunch of cards here. So Calling for Backup is really good. It basically allows you to draw 1 and discard 1, but you don't have to discard if it's your first enhance. Night Watch is really good, it's unique. Remove 1 action card from your discard pile, which is very easy with plus ultra. And after your rival plays a non-character, can enhance, cancel it, so it cancels your opponent's next enhance. This card is kind of weak. If you have to destroy it to -3 speed of an attack, and only will give you an extra effect if you have played an action card. So a little tough to get this off in a really well-mannered way. There's a Harden here, it's really good offensive and defensive card. Heroic Lineage, really good offensive and defensive card as well. If your rival attacks receive damage bonus, gets -3 speed. If your attack receives a speed bonus, gets +2 damage with a commit. Coordinate Effort, probably the best card in the game. 4 of Manly Passionate Guy is one of my favorite foundations because it allows you to build a coordinated effort. It allows you to block with your foundation and then you don't lose them, you actually gain them face up in your foundation. It's really, really strong. Gotcha is really good, it works really well with Sero's other abilities because they do commit foundation. Tape is really good, works really well with Sero. And Think Fast at 2, commit 1 foundation, change the zone, works with Gotcha. And if the zone of your attack has been changed, it gets +1 speed and +1 damage, so really nice to see. Let's go to the sideboard really quickly. He does side Kirishima and Ida just in case, maybe depending on the who's against him. And then he does have Fulfilled My Duty at 4 as a side, and Reciprocal Borders at 3, and then just that last Hardened Chop. So really nice deck. I hope you got some inspiration from this, guys. Leave your comment down below. What do you think of this? And let's move on to number 7. Guys, here's the number 7 deck, ran by Dennis Manyagi. He actually piloted Eraserhead. Obviously, Eraserhead has been topping a lot of tournaments, and he's a really good card. So let's go ahead and see the list that he ran with. We ran 4 Hardened Jab, really good card. Obviously, you can build and add cards to your hand at the same time. And the best option is to build, to put into your hand maybe a face down committed card. That's the best way to go with it. At least that's how I like to use it. Reciprocal Burst can be a really good final attack. It gets you a lot of damage and a lot of speed. It's insane. Grasping Tape Toss. We saw this in the Sero deck. Obviously, really good card. If this attack is not blocked, you have to commit to an arrival foundation, so the opponent is forced to block it, and it's a throw. Also, Reciprocal Extend. Your next kick attack this turn gets +2/+2 damage. We are running 3 kick attacks, so we're gonna at 4, 7, 10. So we're running 10 kick attacks, so we're almost guaranteed to activate it. And then it has another enhance by drawing 1 card for free. Also Flying Thruster Kick here, EX2, which is really good. This attack gets +2 damage. Only playable if this attack has received speed bonus, gives itself a speed bonus, so almost inherently activatable. And also has a Deadlock Enhance. We are running 4 Erase, obviously, because Eraserhead needs these erase, and then plus Ultra as a 2. And 2 Gotchas, 1 Think Fast, really good unique card. Mediator, again, we see it, even though I hate this card, because it has to destroy itself, but I guess I get it. Like, stops you from deadlocking yourself. I get it. It's just so expensive in my opinion. But it actually works really well with Eraserhead because you will almost guarantee that you're going to draw that card from its second ability. Oops. Let's go back in. You're almost guaranteed to draw that card from its second ability, so it's not going to be that bad. Here we have Night Watch. It's the same unique card we saw in the Sero deck, and he actually runs it at 4. When you remove 1 action card, you remove an action card from your discard pile, and your opponent has to cancel the next enhance he has. So if it's a really strong enhance, and you can read your opponent really well, you could really stop huge attacks or huge abilities. Tape, very good. Changes the attack zone to mid, so you're easily blockable. Also, if this attack is in mid, you can already give it -2 speed, so really well. Coordinated effort at 4, again, we see it's a really valuable card. Heroic Lineage at 4, really good offensive and defensive. Harden, really good offensive and defensive. And that's it for his foundations. We're going to move on to his extra deck. 1 Resistance, 3 Fulfilled My Duties, 4 Hardened Chop, 1 extra Grasping Tape Toss just in case we need it, and he does have Kirishima here as well to side him out. So really interesting deck. I really like a bunch of actions, and is still topping hugely. Alright guys, this is number 6 Nomu. I actually really like this deck. He ran more than 50 cards. He ran about 60 cards actually in this deck. 36 foundations, 20 attacks, and 4 Evil Gazes. So let's go through this deck really quickly. Obviously, Evil Gaze at 4, lose 2 health. This attack gets +2 or -2 speed. If this attack is blocked, destroy 1 rival foundation, then you remove this card from the game. It's just a 0, so it's almost guaranteed to activate as an action card, and then it does have a Deadlock Enhance. But basically what it does is if you block with it, it's a breaker 1, and if you activate it, the opponent loses 2 speed, or you can gain 2 speed for your own attack. So really nice. Long Lasting Explosion at 4 activates with mid and top attack, so you'll see that that's mostly what we run. Merciless Rush, really good card. Basically it's a 4 difficulty with EX2 that basically is going to hit for 10 damage, and that's really strong. Turn to Dust, insanely good. Stun 2 and EX2, and its abilities are pretty amazing. Corrosion Lunge, it is a low attack, so it's not going to activate with long lasting explosion, but it does have, if this attack is blocked, your next attack this turn gets +2 speed and +2 damage. That's insane. So it forces him to take the damage, and if he does take this low attacks damage, he's going to take 10 damage. So that's insane. So it forces him to block, which gives our next attack really good amounts of speed. And then discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards from signature. Obviously, because we're running so many cards, we want to get rid of what we don't want. So we're actually going to run more of these. We actually run 4 latent skill, allowing us to draw more. Super regeneration here is really important. Lets us heal a lot. Shock absorption, destroy. This attack gets -2 speed. Allows us to not get deadlock with mediator as well. Arrogant disposition is really good to slow down punch attacks. Your fury attacks, which are basically all of your attacks, are gonna get +2 speed. Well, let's fight bite, guys. Tight-lipped is really good. Flip 1 foundation, your attack gets +1 damage. It's just always activatable, always extra damage. And nervous habit, your attack gets +1 speed. I always use this in my Nomu attack. Nomu decks, it's really strong. Also does have another effect. After this card is committed due to your rival's effect, your rival destroys 1 foundation if you destroy this card. So if your opponent stuns you, you can force him to destroy a foundation. Glamorous, after you build this card, unflip 1 foundation. Really nice. Allows you to unflip maybe a latent speed or shock absorber, super regeneration, or anything that's really important for you to flip that can give you maybe extra speed or extra damage or stops the opponent's really nice card. Also does have another effect. And someone with style here, it's alright. Destroy 1 foundation, ready this foundation, it's okay. It's very situational. It also does destroy after this foundation is committed due to a stun, reduce the rival's attack to 0 speed. So you do have to destroy this, but it really hurts the opponent for stunning you. Now we will go with the side deck as well. He does run Bakugo and Shigaraki in his side. He does run 4 Berserker Blow, which are insane attacks. They're really good. 2 more of the someone with style, and then 2 more apathetic, which allows him to flip rival foundations. Really nice deck. I really love it. I can find a lot of inspiration from this deck. It sucks that this deck runs 60 cards, although it is topping, so obviously there's something working out here. Yeah, I can find a lot of inspiration. I really love these attacks, and these are really solid foundations. So let's keep moving on. Alright guys, another Nomu top 5. This is the 5th deck in between the 39 decks that played in the PPG tournament this January 16th on Sunday. Guys, this is another Nomu deck, top set. This is a totally different build than what we saw before by Hesed Ramos. He ran 19 attacks, which is insane, that's a lot. And he ran 31 foundations, that's it, nothing else. So 50 cards in total. Let's go ahead and read everything. Actually 51 cards after his character. So let's go ahead. Long lasting explosion was there still. See, very similar attacks to what we saw before, but he does have 1 less signature right swing, and he does add touch of decay, which commits 1 foundation as a combo if this attack is completely added to your hand. If this attack is not blocked, draw 1 card. So he went for a different kind of death deck, Nomu death, than the other one we saw before. Does play 3 someone with style, 1 only keen observation, so obviously just for 1 extra damage. Agitation, since most of his attacks, actually all of his attacks are fury attacks, makes sense. Arrogant disposition at 4. Let's fight bite, guys, at 4. He ran 4 tight-lipped for some reason. Oh, right there, that's my 4th one. It's right there underneath. 4 tight-lipped, 4 nervous habit, 4 apathetic, and only 3 latent skill. Let's move on to his side deck. 4 instant flashing, signing flash, which we've never seen this before. It just flips 1 foundation. This next card you attempt to play this turn gets -1 difficulty, so really nice. After you play this card, your rival discards 1 momentum. Oof, it's really good. And also exploding pride. It doesn't activate with long lasting explosion, but does give you your, if the rival uses a lot of momentum, this can help reduce his health drastically. Also 1 trace check cape, unflip 1 committed foundation by committing it. And just one last someone with size. So real nice deck to see here, but Nomu. Let me know, guys, what do you prefer? Do you prefer this deck or the number 6 deck in your playstyle? But they're very similar, so I'm very interested in your opinions, guys. Anyways, that's number 5. Alright, guys, this is number 4. It was an actual Jiro deck that topped number 4. It ran 55 cards, 19 attacks, 2 assets, and 34 foundations. So 55 cards in total plus the Jiro. And let's run through this really quickly. 2 earphone jacks, obviously amazing asset for Jiro. 4 of the specialized sound waves. Some people hate this card for the 2 check, but seems like it's worked out really well. 4 amplified sound wave blast. 3 zero lift gravity. This is a throw, so it's guaranteed to hit. 3 unwavering slash works really well with the asset here. Home run comments. Obviously, this is wind Jiro. This is not good Jiro. And instant explosive release. Add this card to your momentum after it resolves. Only playable if your first attack this turn dealt damage. So you have to basically use a 0 gravity lift into instant explosive release. That's the combo. If this attack does deal damage, your next attack gets +2 damage. So the combo here is 0 into explosive, and then you keep going from there. Charged up here. At 2 for the foundation, amazing. After you charge or stun attack deals damage, add 1 card from your discard pile to your momentum by removing this. So it sucks that you lose an asset, but you gain momentum. Requesting assistance is insanely good. Encouragement is so good in wind. It's literally the only reason you would want to run wind or air at all. In my opinion, arrogant disposition here is really good versus punch attacks. Latent skill allows you to search through your deck. Encouraging training partner, really good against huge speed attacks. Maybe if you're going against an Ida or Detroit Smash, this is insane. Wall Cling as well, it's really good if you're able to block the attack. It blocks it completely. Wealthy Aspirations, remove, look at your momentum and turn one of them face up, pretty useless. And then the second, in my opinion at least, and the second ability, response flip. After a card is added to your momentum, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So basically just adds to your momentum, I think, is what you use it for. It's definitely not being used to look at your momentum, I don't think. Release, destroy 1 foundation or check this to block this attack, gets -2. He actually runs 3 of this. 2 infinite potential, 4 specialist sounds, so obviously insanely good card, and 4 destined for mainstream success. So obviously the 4 offs are the musts, the really looked after cards of this deck. Yo, what just happened to that card? I literally just lost my 0 gravity lift, but basically there's 1 0 gravity lift in his extra deck, side deck, 1 home run comment, 1 unwavering, 1 Kamui, 2 of the wall clings, and 2 short circuit. That's it. Insane deck. Let me know, guys, down below, what do you think of this deck? Alright, guys, number 3 was a Kirishima Void deck ran by Travis Patton. He ran 18 attacks, 43 foundations, believe it or not, and 2 actions. That means he ran over 65 cards. It's insane. Just his foundations, he ran 45 cards. So let's go through them really quickly. He did Engine Rush at 2, really strong card. Reciprocal Extend at 4. We know exactly what this does. Extends your next attack. It gives it +2/+2 if it's a kick. Hardened Frenzy. If this attack's completely blocked, build it face down after it resolves. Really nice. And if you have built a card this turn, this attack gets +1 speed, +1 damage. So really insane. But you have to build cards for it to really activate really well. Hardened Jab at 4. Sorry, at 2 only. Actually, it actually ran 4. I don't know why I only have 2 here. I guess they're all stuck in each other. So this does run 4 Hardened Jab. Obviously, really good card. Allows you to draw and build at the same time. Hardened Chop is again very similar to Hardened Jab, but instead of building into your hand, you're actually building into the stage, but getting rid of committed face down foundations or whatever you don't need. Also, it does have another ability. If it's blocked, your rival discard the card, so that's really strong. 4 resistance, 4 hardened, 4 manly passionate, guys, some of my best cards. Heroic Lenient at 4, a very good offensive and defensive card. Villains defeated at 2, 2 plus ultras, 4 fulfilled my duty, 4 calling for backup, which flips draw 1 card, and if it's your not first enhance, you have to discard. Gotcha at 4. After this card is committed during the enhance step, this attack gets +1 or -1 speed. It could be committed by yourself or by your opponent. Tape, very good defensive card, as well as Natural Leader at 2 only. 3 coordinate effort, because it is void still, and 2 think fast. That's all he needed. Yeah, that Kirishima deck is insane. It's a lot of foundation. I mean, he draws a lot. Then we do have a side deck. Tenya Ida is in his side deck. He does have 3 Go Beyonds. What's their plan? 2 Binding Kicks, and then 3 Reciprocal Bursts. So these are all kicks that he added in, maybe just in case he needed to get more kicks, or if he switched into the Tenya. Very nice deck, guys. Very interested in your opinion in running over 60 cards in a deck. This is insane. I can't believe this is actually working out so well. Over 65 cards in this deck, and it's actually top 3. So this is insane. Let me know your opinion down below, guys, and let's move on. Guys, we're almost done. We're here at number 2. Number 2 was taken by Stephen Gibbs with his All Might the Third deck. He ran 20 attacks, 40 foundations, so he ran 60 cards in total. So it's really insane and amazing actually to see that 60 card decks are actually topping pretty consistently at this point. We've seen a bunch of them now, over 60 cards. Anyways, let's go ahead and go through this deck. 4 Texas Smash, insane card. I mean, this is only going up in price. Hardened Jab, insanely good. Builds and lets you draw or adds to your hand size. Setup Strike is insanely good. Can add to its own speed or to the next attack speed, and it's pretty cheap. Missouri Smash is okay card. A lot of damage. Slow, but its abilities are pretty good. If this attack deals damage, build the next foundation you play face up, so it's a free foundation. Also, if a punch attack has dealt damage this turn, draw 1 card. So if you are smart with this All Might good deck, and you have a lot of I mean, if you know that the next card on the top of your deck is going to be an attack, you can waste that card by building a foundation, and then you gain from that because you don't add it to the card pool, you add it to your stage immediately. Hardened Frenzy is obviously really good. If you use Missouri Smash before this, it automatically goes into a 5/5, so it's insanely good. And if it's blocked, you can actually remove this from your card pool. And One for All, Full Cowling, 5% strikes. Obviously one of the best cards, one of the best punches in the game right now. Discard your hand, draw 3. If this attack is not blocked, commit your rival's character. Insanely good. Also, just base damage is insane, and it's a really good block, low block. Moving on to the foundations, we're running 3. It can be fixed in the main deck. 2, you're so obvious. This is really good. These can save your ass. 4 Coordinated Efforts, obviously the best card in the good and void and earth right now. 4 Note Taking, really good. Bones of Friendship slows down some Fury decks. Manly Passion Guy at 3, obviously one of my favorite foundations. I've said this before. Passing the Torch at 4. Recovery's Girl's Kiss. Obviously you guys can see he has a lot of spammable foundations, and that's just so he can attack a couple of times and then build foundation for the rest of the turn consistently. Self-Sacrifice at 3. 2 Planning Ahead. We haven't seen this card before. Harden at 3. Special Sound at 4. It's actually really good. Special Sound, we always consistently see it at 4, so obviously it's insanely good. We also run in the side deck 1 Harden, 2 Planning Ahead, 2 Double Beatdowns, 1 All Might the First, which allows you to go insane powerful X, and Self-Sacrifice at 1. It can be fixed at 1, and you're so obvious at 2. I'm very interested in your opinions, guys. Stephen Gibbs got second with this deck, so leave it down below. What do you think of this deck, and what would you change? Insane deck. Amazing work. Congratulations. Let's move on to number 1. Finally, we are at the top of the list, guys. This is number 1, Hinata Sero by David Thomas. Took the whole tournament with an Order Sero with 37 foundations, 16 attacks, and so he is running basically 37 plus 16 is 53 cards. So 53 cards in the deck. Let's go ahead and go through these. It's pretty insane to see somebody running so many different attacks, because usually we see 4-offs of attacks just for the consistency. So it's amazing to see this strategy actually being like so consistent that it got him first place. So let's go through this really quickly. Two reverse throw, obviously don't need introductions. Indiscriminate shock. It's actually an order card, so you can use all of Denki cards in here. This attack gets +1 damage for each committed rival foundation. Insanely good. Commit 1 foundation, your rival commits 1 foundation. So you'll gain an extra at least 1 attack no matter what. 1 damage. Tape swing, we know this card. It just changes the zone. Every time it changes the zone, it gains damage. So it's weird that he only ran 2 of. Because I think that's number 1 card that Hinata Sero loves to play. Set up strike at 3. Sticky ball toss tackle at 1. This attack gets +1 damage for each card in your rival's card pool. Lose 2 health if this attack is not blocked. Your rival commits 2 foundation. So it's an amazing card with Hinata Sero because Hinata Sero only activates when your opponent blocks, and so this is almost forcing the opponent to block. Reciprocal burst at 2. 2 electric jolts and 2 rapid tape strikes. 2 short circuits for the foundation, 2 shock treatments, only 1 charged up, 4 of the requesting assistance. You're going to see a bunch of 0 difficulty cards, 4 gotcha, also 2 desperate times, so 10 0 difficulty cards. So obviously a lot of spam. Foundation. Think fast at actually 3, even though it's a unique. Commit 1 foundation, change the zone of your attack. If the zone of your attack has been changed, it gets +1/+1. It's really good. Tape stops, slows down mid attacks, or changes the attacks to mid for easier blocking. Fulfilled my duty just ends the enhanced step. That's really strong, but you have to destroy it. Natural leader strengthens kick and mid attacks, which is very easy to do with Hinata Sero because you get 1 free change of zone every attack. Heroic lineage, 3 off, commit after. It's very good offensive and defensive, obviously. Desperate times at 2, flip after your rival draws any number of cards during the combat phase. They commit 1 foundation. Interesting, could be useful, sometimes just situational, so 2 off makes sense. Classmate introductions at 3. If your rival has not played a block this turn, this attack gets +1 speed, and if this is your first attack this turn, it gets +1 damage. So as long as your rival doesn't block, classmate introduction is just going to keep forcing the opponent to, almost like pressuring him into blocking, or you're just going to keep giving +1 speeds for nothing for your every attack you have. Self-sacrifice is insanely good because you have so much spam, you can get rid of it for damage. And passing the torch at 2 obviously just allows you to draw a little extra. I love this deck, it's really insane. Let's go to the side deck really quickly. Sticky balls at 2, 1 charged up, 2 reverse throws, 2 grasping tape tosses, which don't even exist in this deck, in the main deck. 1 also extra reciprocal burst, and 1 classmate introduction just to fulfill that 4. Guys, I'm very interested in all your opinions about all the decks down below, so leave a comment. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. It took me about an hour or 2 to finish this. Had to make all the decks in TTS. It did take a lot of work, so really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Just takes about a second. And like this video. And besides that, guys, stay tuned. I'm going to send out a lot of My Hero Academia content soon, and I'll still be uploading some Digimon as well. So I'm just going to upload all the card games that I love, but right now they're just Digimon and My Hero, so stay tuned and I'll see you next time. Peace.